Hey guys, what's up? Berube here. Today I'm coming to you with how to handle an objection, how to crush the objection, bring me a buyer, and I'll pay you 3%. When I'm prospecting, if I'm calling FSBOs or expireds, when you get stuck on an objection, and even if you know and you practice and you're really good at what you're doing, you can still get stuck and it just causes you to panic. And you wonder, shit, what do I say next? And am I saying the right thing? And then you start talking about yourself. I mean, this has happened to me quite a bit. And it sucks. Doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, sometimes you can be doing this 10, 12, 15 years, and you have that bad call that just gets you off your game. You get derailed. And sometimes you just don't even want to get back on the phone. And then if that is for a day or 2 days or 3 days, that one objection that you didn't know how to handle could cost you tens of thousands of dollars if it takes you off your prospecting game. So don't let it do that, okay? And that's why I put together, bam, Objection Crusher Cookbook. And this is straight from the cookbook. But I'm also going to give you a little bit of the how and the why and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, this objection usually happens with FSBOs and expireds. So let's think about why. Why are they saying this? Why are they objecting to you? First of all, this works with a lot of other agents. So if something they say works, if they're getting called by a lot of other agents and they find that magic that works for them to get you off the phone, they're going to use it. Sometimes, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but this has happened to me quite a bit. You'll get that seller that you can tell they have this smirk on the other end of the phone where they're really proud of themselves because they've practiced this, and they'll just jump in and they'll be like, "Do you have a buyer?" You know, like aha, you didn't think I was going to say that, did you? But just as many times as they want to say that, as they have agents calling them, we hear that just as many times. So if they're practicing what they're doing, we need to be practicing what we're doing, okay? Because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? When you get the appointment, it's all about helping them. So you have to understand that it's about them. It's not about you. So don't take it personally. So if you get the objection, bring me a buyer and I'll pay you 3%. First, you have to acknowledge it, okay? So you have to either repeat and affirm, redirect, tie down, whatever you want to call it, but you have to acknowledge the objection. Understand that it's not you, and understand that it's all about you getting their motivation. What does their motivation mean? Okay? Their motivation, and I want you to remember this is going to be the most important thing of this video. Their motivation is their pain. Okay? So you have to think about it that way. What pain are they being caused? What pain of not selling their home are they experiencing? And if you get their motivation, and you can tell that it's not bullshit, but it's their real motivation, okay, and they don't have any more, and it's not strong enough to be a strong enough pain, okay, if they just don't have to do it, then they're not going to. So think about it this way. It's kind of like when, let's say you want to lose weight, okay? If you don't have a strong enough pain to pull you away from eating too much or not exercising, then you're not going to have enough pain to move and start dieting and to move in the right direction. So, kind of think about it that way. You have to be looking for somebody's pain, and then you have to position yourself as the person who's going to get rid of that pain, okay? So all of a sudden now you're the superhero. You're the one who's going to get rid of their pain. They're going to love you. So let's get you in that position. So now here's how you do it. Bring me a buyer and I'll pay you 3%. You know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate that offer, and I'm going to definitely keep that in mind. So what I'm hearing you say is that you want to save the 3% commission on the listing side rather than, and just pay a buyer's agent, whatever you can pay them. And then they'll say yes, they want to save that commission. They want to save that commission because that's what they want to do. They do. And why? Okay, now think about it, guys. Why? Because they want to net the most money on the sale. think about it reasonably. I mean, I get so many questions from agents about, how they should feel. Is it okay for them to feel bad if their friends buy a property with somebody else? That kind of stuff. So I ask a little bit deeper, and then if something comes up where, well, they got a better deal because it was their mother that represented them, she knows what they're doing, and she rebated them a certain amount of money. Or even if it's somebody that it wasn't their friend helping them, but they got a rebate from someone else, it doesn't mean that that contribution to closing or that rebate is going to actually net that buyer more money, but it's that buyer's perception. And it's the same thing with the seller. The seller has this perception. This is the world they live in because they don't live in ours, so we don't know. Okay, so we have to focus on them. Where did I leave off on there? So let me start off. So bring me a buyer and I'll pay you 3%. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I'll definitely keep that in mind. And what I hear you saying is that you don't want to pay me 3% to list the property, but if I had a buyer, you'd be willing to pay a commission on the sale that way, right? And they'll say yes, and then you say, great. So if I had a way that I could show you how I could net you more money than you would by selling it on your own, because that's what they want, right? Net you more money. They want to net the most money. If I could show you how I can net you more money by listing the home with me instead of just selling it yourself, that's worth 10 or 15 minutes of your time, right? So what you're doing there is, it's an obvious question. And that question is going to be yes. Why would they say no? Okay, so you're giving them the option of a yes or no. Why would they say no? It's a yes. Of course. They're not crazy. So when they say that, then you can tie down for the appointment. Say, okay, great. So let's do this. Let's meet. I can do Tuesday at 4 or Wednesday at 6. So whatever. The first part is you're acknowledging, okay, the objection. Then the second part is you're handling the objection, and then you're tying them down for the appointment. The third part, you're closing, you're tying down, you're getting the appointment. Because if you don't get the appointment, if you get off the phone with them right then and there, okay, you're done. You're done. You're not going to have a follow-up with them. So, you might want to say, well, I'll follow up with you in about a week or so. Or they'll say that. That doesn't mean what you think it does. It doesn't mean you call them in a week and everything's going to be good and you get the appointment and then you can list the home and sell it. That's not going to happen. So, recap. For sale by owners and expireds, this is a popular go-to for them. So, I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate the offer, and it sounds like you want to net the most money on the sale of the home. So if I had a buyer, or if I could net you more money by listing and selling with me, that's worth 10 or 15 minutes of your time, right? Yes, it is. Fantastic. What time works better for you, this time or this time? So you see where I'm going with that, right? Makes sense? Okay, cool. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, if you've gotten stuck on this objection or any other objections, shoot a comment below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to salescommands.com. That is where you can get all of the free Facebook training with all of this good stuff and a lot more.